Okay, so you're going to get an air conditioning filter, which is something like this. You have two of them. You have the wire one, or you have this one, which has got the plastic on there. I would refer you to use this one because it's a lot more easier to work with and to maneuver the way that you want it to be maneuvered. So what you do now, you cut around it. So you would take the scissors and you would not use your good cutting scissors. You use the normal scissors first to cut around it. And when you finish it, then you remove it. It would be like this. So then you would have it like this. You would need a strip that is 2 inches wide and also 23 in length, but that would be on a fold, as you can see. So it would be 46 in total in length. Just that when you're bounding here, bounding there and there, it will be able to do for one mass. So for one side, obviously the bound would have to be 6 inches, and for the other side, that the bound would have to be 8 inches, but I would say 9 inches because you're going to fold it under. Okay, so you're going to fold it under by 1/2 inch. Okay, the elastic would have to be cut by 6 1/4. Now it will be 1/4 on either side for the allowance. Okay, so that's what, no, 1/2 inch on either side for the allowance, sorry. So here you are, you cut it 1/4, and you would do 2 of them, so you have 1 for either side. Ooh, wrong scissors. So then you just cut it again. So you place the other one over it and you cut it. So then this would be for one side, this would be for the other side, like this. So when you bound it would be like that, and it would be pleated up like that. Okay, so what I've done earlier on, I marked it out here. So I marked it out here. So what I did, I found the middle, which is 3 inches. Now from the 3 inches, you would mark 1 inch after that, and then you mark 1/2 inch and then 1/2 inch. This is to make the pleat. And then you do the same for the other section, 1 inch out and then 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Then afterwards, now you would match the 2 pleats like this. So this section here, this dot here, will go here like that. Then you use a pin, hold it in place. And you do the same for the other one. From the 1 inch that has been marked, and then you pin it in place. And you would pin the pleats going down. And so this is how it would look when you'd finish, okay? So it would look like that. All right. Now we're going to be finding the center for this section here, because you're going to do a tiny little 1/4 inch dot. So you find a section here like this, and then you would clip it. This is just to make sure that you find the center. Then you would measure here, and you mark here 1/4. I'm using the pencil so it's easy for you guys to see. And then you would just stitch it quickly. I said before, you have to find the center now, like after you finish pinning it. And you have to mark it 1/4, and then you stitch down from the top to the bottom 1/2 inch, okay? And it will be this wide. As you see, I never did it too perfect because it's going to be on the inside, but it will look like that on the outside, so that when you put it over your face, it will curve in the position as how it should over your nose and underneath your chin. All right, so let's do the other section that's going to be going in. So remember, I had said to you that this has to be 1/4 inch top stitched. So you fold over 1/4, and then you fold it again. And you just do this very fast. It doesn't have to be too perfect. It just has to be. Ignore the noise. I think I have to oil my machine. So you did the same for the next one, okay? I will not show you that. I'm going to just get one that I've done already. So after you finish, you should have something like this, okay? So it will be layered over. Or what you could do, instead of making this exactly the same length, give it like 1 more inch onto it, just so that it's a tiny bit bigger than the rectangle that is here, okay? That's your business now. Okay, so remember I had said 3 layers. Make sure for the 3rd layer you give it an extra 1 inch, okay? All right, so when you finish it, it's going to look like this. Now, this is the part that was turned over. So you have the long section. Make sure the part that's lapping down, it is on the pleats are facing down, okay? Just the same way as how that's going down. All right, pin them in position, and then you stitch around it quickly like this, just to hold it in place. as you're stitching it, you just remove the pin as you go along, okay? Now, the section that we had taken in here, it doesn't matter which direction you pin it in position, as long as the both of them are facing in the same direction. It's perfectly okay. Now, this is just to hold everything in place. Okay, so this is how it would look when you finish. Now what you have to do is make sure you shape it up good. So make sure it's shaped up with the top one correctly. So just trim off the sections that are coming over, just so it's just neat and nice. All right. Now you have to make sure that it's not bigger than 1/4 inch, because you're going to be bounding it. You don't want it to be seen, okay? All right. Now, you don't put on your elastic until you're ready to bound the sides. So you put this to one side here. Now, I'm going to be bounding the top sections. Pin it on either hand like what I'm doing here right now, so it stays in position. And you do the other side as well, down here. Now the elastic is 1/4 inch wide and it is 8 inch in length, okay? Don't forget. Now you can also use a 1/2 inch, but I wouldn't say get an elastic bigger than that. Remember what I said earlier on, you can use a hairband and just cut it in, cut one side of it and then use the length of it that way too, okay? All right, so when you've done that, now you get the piece. Now make sure you find the middle of the piece, which is here, and then you would find the middle of this and you would slit it here and you place the two together. This is just so that you have the 1 inch over, because you're going to cut it down to 1 inch if it's too long, okay? All right, so you go right now. So you would stitch here in position right now, but remember to back stitch so it holds it in place. Now remember that is 1/2 inch to hold it in place, okay? And you can pull the cloth if it gets stuck so it moves along quickly, okay? Now you just hold it in place. Remember the two centers together, and you just loop down, stitching down, and then you back stitch here, and you see the pin, and then you take it out. Then now this is what you do now. Cut off the excess thread. Then you do this. So you would fold it like this. Remember I said that you need 1 inch, so you measure from here, go out for 1 inch. I'm kind of used to it now, so I know that that's 1 inch. And then you do this, because you're going to be stitching it down. And you just do the same for up here as well. Make sure you measure it. Make sure it's 1 inch. And then you go for it. Stitch it down in place. Make sure the two of them match together like this, all right? So it looks nice and neat. You don't have to back stitch it, because you're going to be folding it under. You just need to make sure that the both of them are stitched together so it does not come apart. And you go. Make sure you keep on feeding it. That is nice and neat. And you can pull here if it gets stuck. You just keep doing that. And you do the same match up here. You stitch it out. Now it's going to look something like this. Then now you pull the elastic in this way, forward like this. You turn this over here like that. and then you stitch it down in place in the center. Okay, you can make the pleats face down or up, it's up to you how you want it, but remember, I prefer it to be facing down, to be honest with you. All right, so we're going to put the filter in right now. So the filter will go in here like this. You have to make sure, now this is the filter that I had cut out earlier on. And remember, we had stated that it is 7.5 wide. It would be the same as the measurement there. And it is literally 4.5 wide. Okay, so we're going to be putting it in now. If it's a little bit big, you can always cut it down to size so it fits in. Now make sure that this section is facing the front. Okay, so you place it in like this, push it in position, and then you do that same, and make sure it's all over the front section so that it's properly filtered. Okay, and that's it. There we go, your own facial mask, like that. Now you have this one, which I did earlier on. This is the black version one, and it's the same thing. Okay, and you have this one, and it's the same thing. All right, and this will just curve in so it just shapes nicely around your mouth. So this is how it would look. Now you can use it for kids or adults, but right now I'm using it on my son. So hope you guys enjoy. This is the coronavirus AC filter mask.